Let's take a look at using Substance, applying those Substance materials that you made with Substance Painter into Maya. One way you do this is to right-click, assign new material, going to Arnold and AI Standard Surface. And this you can do one at a time, going to Colors, clicking on Colors, selecting the file, and if that file dialog doesn't pop up again, click the folder icon, track down the file, and I'm just going to apply this base color. By pressing the 6 key, you can preview your shader in the viewport. If you're not seeing it connected here, there might be some other issue. Next, don't use this render preview. Go to Arnold, Render, and I see absolutely nothing because, reason I see nothing, have to go under Arnold, Lights, and apply a light to the scene, and then go to Arnold, Render. And now you'll see the shader on it. You can continue wiring up one at a time, selecting this object, rendering up the diffuse roughness, metalness, going under geometry to add the normal map. Another way to do this, let me just assign a new material to this just to wipe out the current material. Another way to do this, now that you've proven to yourself that yes, everything's working, you can render in color, you can see things in color in the viewport, is to use the Substance plugin, and you'll see it up here on the shelf. In case you don't see that on the shelf, go under Windows, Setting Preferences, Plugin Manager, and then from Plugin Manager, do a quick search for SUB for Substance and make sure all these are checked, and then close that. That will add the Substance shelf, also a drop-down menu. Just click here on the shelf, click Select Multiple Maps, and do what it says. I'm going to skip the TX files because that's what's generated by Arnold when rendering. So skipping that. Selecting all those, click on Select, click on Apply. To assign this material, and you could ignore this yellow message. Yellow messages aren't devastating. The orange and red ones, those are more serious. So yellow, you can ignore. Right click, assign existing material, and choose this material. It will be the latest one in the stack added. If you don't see any material on here, even when you press the 6 key, and let me hit Render, Substance, Arnold, Render. I really should move that object over so you can see that there's something new in the viewport. I'll make 2 of them. There's 2 of them. Don't see this in the viewport. I've noticed that when you wire in a substance, the metalness here, that just messes up with the viewport. Even if you break the connection, it's totally gone. So choose between metalness and roughness if you're not getting the right preview in your viewport. If you're getting the right preview, don't worry about it. So starting all this again, File New, and I'm going to create an object, scale it up. Right now, if I go under Windows Hypershade, Windows Rendering Editors Hypershade, there's no Arnold shaders here in the viewport. I'm going to use a Substance right up here, and I'm going to skip the metalness this time. So select multiple maps, base color, definitely, height, why not? Skipping metalness for roughness, and of course, normal map. Select. Click Apply, and when I hit Apply, you'll see the new Arnold material added here. I could then call this Arnold material. When I click on it, you can see a preview. I'll just call it red. Sorry, it's not very creative. Select the object, right-click, assign existing material, and it'll be red. If you didn't name it red, it'll be whatever that next new material of Arnold is called. Well, I don't see any preview. Well, I didn't press the 6 key. And there's the red. For my experimentation, I'm not sure if it's a video card issue or what's going on. When the metalness is wired in to the map, your viewport might not give you a good read of what's going on. It will render correctly. It's just a viewport issue. Maybe it's a driver issue. Don't know. I haven't had a chance to explore this any deeper. I did wire in under here the roughness of it. I also noticed instead of diffuse roughness for base map, if I manually wire in that to the metalness one, so selecting the folder and going to the metal. So instead of being on the metalness slider, it's on the diffuse roughness slider. And then you still get your preview. This is only a preview issue, has nothing to do when the actual material rendered, as I showed at the beginning of this video. Add a Skydome Light into here just for a quick rendering, and use Arnold Render